Okay.
Yes.
Hello, folks. This is the Pod Squad with Kathy Morrison, Pat Drake, Wendy Card, and yours truly, Colleen Roberts. Happy New Year, everybody. It's our first Pod Squad of 2021, and we're all women today taking over. Thanks for joining us, everybody. This is New Bern Now's podcast for January 14th, 2021, and we are already up to episode 169.
All right. Yay. We're connecting you with the people, places, and happenings in New Bern and the surrounding areas, and we want you to join the conversation.
But before we get started, we have a contest. To be entered to win, make sure you comment during today's show on New Bern Now's Facebook page. And Wendy, now it's your turn.
Okay. All right. This is a local business question, trivia question. What local business used to store their products in a cigar box, in cigar boxes in the mid-1900s? Oh my gosh, I need to restart. What local business used to store their products in cigar boxes in the mid-1900s? Is that better?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
True
now,
story.
yes. So you have to comment with the answer on the New Bern Now Facebook page, right?
Yes.
And then, so whoever gets it right, you have to go through that part too.
Whoever gets it right,
What do they
Don't
get?
do they get a prize?
they win a $40 gift certificate to that local business.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's cool.
I think
Yeah.
Wendy's a little bit asleep today.
Yeah, I'm on cold medicine, so sorry.
Ah,
Oh,
But it's not COVID. It's not a tumor.
I don't know. I'm waiting on the test results, but
I thought you had already gotten them. Okay.
yeah, no, I don't know, but I've been wearing a mask, socially distancing, and washing my hands like crazy. So if it
And you're
is
saying-
COVID, I'm just, please, folks, please just practice the 3 W's. That's all I gotta say about that. I'm not gonna.
And you've been staying home, right?
I have. I'm like a hermit. Besides going out and taking pictures, but I go ring the bell every Friday. For COVID, the deaths, people have lost their lives to COVID. So yeah, I don't know.
yep.
But on a lighter note, we're gonna have we have a great lineup of guests today, you guys. For one thing, it's great to see you, and thank you everyone for tuning in to our social media. And,
So did everybody have a good holiday season?
Yep. Had a good holiday season. Again, it was cozy and home,
yeah.
but ate too much and all those good things. But this time we had an excuse to eat too much, because what else are we going to do?
That's right.
So
yeah.
that's right. So I had a good holiday season and happy to be into 2021.
Did you make any new recipes or make some of your family recipes?
No, I made some cookies. I didn't do cookies to give away to everybody this year, but I made a little bit for us, and we ate a few and froze a few, and so that's all. And then just did traditional dinners and just very small versions of it. So that's all. But
How about you, Pat Drake? Did you have a good holiday season?
Yeah, thanks. And like Kathy, it was just Mac and I, our 2 kitty cats, some FaceTiming with the kids and grandkids that are in New York. But I didn't cook. I did Harris Teeter's prime rib dinner for Christmas Day. And I did cook for New Year's, but we had mimosas and it was nice and quiet, and happy to be in our home. And we did a live Christmas tree this year. Not being exhausted from helping Santa with the UPS store, we were able to have decorations around and do the tree, and that was really nice. bringing back some things we haven't done in a number of years.
Yeah.
Most of my family is out of town, so shipping was a big thing for me this year. And I always think about you, Pat, when I go to the UPS store, and I'm like, isn't she like around the corner or something? I can say hi to her. But I got everything off on time, and everybody got their gifts before Christmas. So
There you go.
it was good. Success. What were you going to say, Wendy?
I don't know.
Well, this is our first podcast for 2021. We hope everybody's new year is off to a great start. We certainly have some positive news to look forward to in terms of COVID, and that is that vaccinations have started. And so looking forward to the state's widespread rollout of vaccinations. Probably, Dr. Mandy Cohen said yesterday, probably would be a while before the vaccine is available to all of us and all ages, but they have a phased rollout, and it will happen to the populace in general. So we all just need to wait our turn and maintain healthy habits and prevent the spread of the virus. But hopefully this will be a much better year than last year.
Yes.
Yes.
I think so.
Yes. Yeah, last year was just an upside down year, and I guess it happens at once a lifetime. Touch wood.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to do that.
We have lots of stories, I guess. I don't have grandchildren, but I have great nieces that I can pass them on to. And
Yep.
you guys have children and family, and so it was a year of learning. That's the way I look at it. So
Yes.
Tried our patience for sure.
What did you say?
Tried our patience.
Yes.
For sure. For sure. We have a couple of good news stories in my family. My stepdaughter, Mariana, is expecting.
Oh,
Yay.
She and Robbie's second child. And then as is my little sister, Monica. So they were doing
Yay.
something in 2020.
yeah, they were confined at home. You know what happened. Gosh.
That's right.
So
we'll
grandma
have-
and auntie at the same time.
Yeah, so we'll have another grandchild, and I'll have another niece or nephew. So I'm looking forward to that. 2 surprises that we got around holiday time. So
That's wonderful.
New
Carolina
baby.
East is experiencing a bit of a baby delivery boom. And if you go back your 9 months, we're prime in COVID stay home orders.
Yep.
That's yeah. Wow.
My little sister's, no, Mariana's baby is due in May, and I keep trying to back up her date so that it's in line with my birthday, but I'm not sure I have that kind of power, but anyway. So what's going on, Kathy Morrison? Tell us about the New Bern Historical Society.
Well, we're doing planning and preparation. This is January, and we're looking forward to a time when we can do stuff that takes us outside of the homes. We've got 3 projects coming up later in the spring, and we hope that everybody is going to follow Dr. Cohen, and so by the time we get there, we'll be in good shape. But they're all outdoors. One of them, we're going to do a brand new event at the battlefield, and it's lanterns at the battlefield, and it's going to be an evening event with a lantern tour of the battlefield where you'll meet characters from the 1860s. So that's going to be, something different and in a different location, but they're, working on setting that up, and that's going to be in the late spring. And then we'll have our second annual golf tournament, which, started out last year in the spring and got ended up in the fall.
I remember that.
So that will come also in the late spring. And then we're looking at the beginning of June for another brand new event that will keep people outside and in, their groups, their family groups. And we're going to do a historic scavenger hunt. So we're going to find
Nice.
interesting places to send you, see if you can figure out how to get there, and
That's
have
fun.
you, do a task when you get there. But it'll be a fun thing to do with family. You'll be in your cars, driving around in your cars. So you won't be, commingling where you ought not to be. So those are the kinds of things we're working on for late springtime. And, as everybody, we're hoping that by the time we get there, we'll be in good shape to be doing outdoor things. Because right now, Dr. Cohen is saying, if you go outside, put a mask on. If you leave your home, put a mask on. Don't go anywhere with people that you don't have to other than work or school. So, and we want folks to do that. So we're working towards that.
And go ahead, Wendy.
Yeah, Kathy, did any of you participate in the downtown dare with George?
No, the one that Epiphany did?
Did he partner with Epiphany? I don't know. I know George Oliver.
Yeah, I think that was the one that the Epiphany School did, and George was involved with that.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, a couple of people on the committee did, and so we're learning from what they did. And
well, this is even better because you don't have to. It was the Podsquad that it was a part of a team, so it was like Susan and. I can't remember everybody, but that was like a lot of, I think we walked like 10 miles that day. And so I'd rather definitely drive than.
Oh, I do remember that story.
I'm a little lazy, but I hate running, and you had to do a lot of brisk walking. So
yeah.
It's the short legs.
We're in the planning stages, and the plan at this point is the format is you will drive in your car to most places. There might be a setup where you drive and you get to walk to 2 or 3 places, but then get back in your car and drive. So we're trying to keep you isolated from other folks, I think it'll be fun. We're looking at places that are interesting that maybe you don't know about, and think of something fun for you to do when you get there. So.
And with 300 and how many 10 years 310 years of history, there's a lot.
So that's coming later in the year as we go down the road here.
And the gingerbread houses, that was so wildly successful this year. What beautiful creations.
That we were really pleased with the results from that. We got, I think Mickey counted like 15 different states. We had 29 entries. I think there were 15 different states, and just really interesting stuff. Interesting stuff from New Bern, neat historic things. We had an old St. Paul's church from Carol Moore that was really neat. So we had some neat pieces. We had a Captain Ratty's from New Bern. And then we had things from all over the place. We had, and the winners were really, really detailed, interesting things. So one of the winners was one that had houses stacked on top of houses, looked like a Dr. Seuss.
It did.
Character. So we're pleased with that. We will begin to consider how we're going to deal with gingerbread as we get a little further into the year. And because the online reach was met well, we might do some kind of a combination of, yes, let's go, if we can, if things are happy as we all want them to be, that we can go back into the downtown stores and have a normal downtown Christmas. Maybe we'll do a combination. We don't know yet. We're still kicking ideas around.
Looking forward to that, as well as the rest of your.
Well, and we appreciate your help with it. Colleen Roberts. Colleen was a judge, and I got her name wrong.
One of the things I look forward to every year. People are so talented. It makes you realize how much talent there is in the market, and this year beyond, because it was open to folks from across the country. But Pat Drake, what's going on in your world?
Pretty quiet, which in a way I guess is a good thing. Still working on getting the condo in Fairfield Harbor back, believe it or not. You're looking at maybe, if we're lucky, 2.5 years to have it done, maybe March. It's finally sheetrocked and mudded, not yet painted. Got a couple of things on back order. Cabinets though are in vanities. So as different steps get along, there are 16 families, including Mac and I, you know, who lived out there that lost our homes, our condos that we lived in. And I was there for 25 years. So, you know, a lot of people are you know, staying with family, staying out of state. You know, once we bought Greenbrier, we made the decision that we would, you know, go ahead and sell when we can. But I'll be happy if it can go on, but, you know, on the market by the end of March. So that's kind of, you know, significant what's going on in our lives. Looking forward to getting my 2 injections when it's my time, and understand the caution that you need to still wear a mask and wash your hands and socially distance, even though you get your shots. It's going to take some time to enter our system. So I'm hoping that the public realizes that. I'm a little disappointed that you can go out of the county. I know some folks who've already gone to Carteret. That I find a little disturbing that we could do that, because I feel you shouldn't be allowed to, because then we're taking away from residents in that county. And I guess it must be statewide. I don't know how much control an individual county has over the distribution.
Right.
So people leaving the county, you mean to go get vaccines in other counties?
Yeah, because they're available
Yeah.
sooner.
Yeah.
Carteret was available before Craven. And these are folks that probably that are in their 80s, but they went to Carteret because they could
Yeah.
and were allowed to. So that, you know, I don't know. I guess to them it was okay. I would think a county wouldn't allow it. If I lived in Carteret and needed the shot myself, I think I'd be a little distressed that it went to you know, someone who doesn't live in Carteret.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you know, things may change with the change of government, but we have Brandy Popp in the waiting room, and
Yeah.
she's
Waiting
with
room.
Carolina
Oh, she's
East. Is just the person to ask. You want to bring her in, Brandy?
Sure.
You ready for us?
Yes. And while Wendy
Okay.
is getting her admitted, a quick social media minute. Talina Massey says, "Hi guys. Hey Talina.
Hi, Talina.
Hey Brandy.
Hey,
How's it going?
There you are.
how are you all?
Good.
Good. Thanks for joining us. We know you're swamped, and we really appreciate everything. So yeah.
Thanks for
We-
having me.
We love us some Brandy Popp.
Oh, thanks, Colleen.
I usually, you know, read things from you, which I really like. I enjoy seeing you in my email box. But you are the most hilarious person on Facebook with your family and your dog.
I'm glad you find humor in the chaos that is my life.
So let's start with the more important matters. And how is the hospital in the midst of COVID? We have this great news about vaccines, but we are certainly still extremely concerned about those who are infected with the virus. And as we always say on this show, we extend kudos and many thanks to you and the staff and those on the front lines helping to take care of these patients. But how is Carolina East? How are things going?
Yeah. Well, you said it. I mean, our staff are incredible, and I'm in awe of them every single day. I was just upstairs earlier, and I mean, sometimes being in sort of more of an administrative role, you're in your little bubble and you hear about stories and you hear about patients, but I don't necessarily go upstairs often and see it myself. And every time I do, I mean, it just brings me back to reality that, I mean, this truly is a terrible illness that people are suffering with. And our staff, I mean, they come to work every day and take care of these patients to the best of their ability, and they'll continue to do that. And I mean, we're grateful for that. The community, I know, is grateful for that. And I'm not saying that it hasn't been difficult, because I mean, our staff are certainly stretched and stressed and exhausted, but they continue to come in and smile and hold the hands of their patients and treat them the best that they can. And I mean, they're hanging in there. They definitely are. Yeah, I can definitely also now see some hope, like you said, with the vaccine arrival and starting to get that out into the community. That's all we can do is hope that brings some light to the end of this very long, dark tunnel that we've been in since March. But yeah, they're incredible. So they'll make it through, that's for sure. But it hasn't been easy.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
So you are participating in a partnership to deploy vaccines now that we have them. Can you tell us about that partnership and plan?
Right. I mean, that's another thing I can't speak highly enough of. The way that our medical providers in the community have come together has really also been incredible. I mean, CCHC has been wonderful to work with. Of course, Scott and all of the great people at the health department have been amazing. So yeah, we've had a team from our organization as well as those two get together many, many times over the past few weeks to figure out the best way to roll this out. I hear a lot of feedback that it's going slower than people would like, but the reality is we just don't have the vaccines right now to do everybody that we'd like to do. I mean, certainly not everybody that's in the 1B category. I mean, you've probably seen on the news, there's 16,000 75 plus year olds across the spectrum of those three medical providers. And we only had about 800 vaccine doses each to give to those 16,000 people. So, I mean, I understand people are frustrated, and I've gotten plenty of phone calls wondering, I'm 82, I haven't gotten a phone call yet. When do I get my vaccine? And I mean, I just please ask everyone to continue being patient. They're doing the best they can with the resources that they have. And we certainly hope that we will be getting more, but there's just really no way of knowing until the state tells us that they're sending us more. So it's sort of a waiting game at this point to see when we'll get more doses, and then we can vaccinate many people as we can, as quickly as we can. But it has been a process.
Those were going to be some of my next questions. I had dinner with my mother-in-law last night, and she was asking, she said, I've called and they already have enough appointments for the vaccines that they've received. And so I will have to wait.
Exactly.
So your best advice is just to, make that contact and know that, you will be called and
Exactly. And I know it's hard because, these people that are older and have different underlying conditions, you would think a lot of them would think they'd be in that first set. But if you think about it, I mean, we were only able to vaccinate 10% of the people in that category. So, we have used all of the doses, or we have allocated all the doses that we have available for the appointments we've made for this week. We don't have doses yet for next week. So we don't want to make those appointments not knowing for certain we're going to get another allocation. So once we do receive that, we'll be making those next set of appointments for however many patients down the list that we can. So, I mean, it will eventually get to everybody, but like I said, it's just, we're doing what we can with the resources that we have.
So is it that age group should expect a phone call, or should they call? What do you recommend?
That age group should expect a phone call. If they are their primary care doctor is a CCHC or Carolina East physician. And it's my understanding the health department also has a set of patients and they'll be calling everyone that meets that criteria as well. You probably saw that the health department did publish a vaccine call center and an online registration process as well. So I do know that went live. A lot of people utilize that tool, and that was intended for people that do not have primary care physicians. So anybody else out there. I know, like I said, a lot of people utilize that. It's closed down now because, again, they aren't making appointments because they don't have the vaccine available. They'll open it back up once they receive more as well. So, I mean, it has been, obviously a moving target, a lot of pieces to this puzzle, and everybody is just doing an incredible job with it, the best that they can.
Yeah, we are so lucky to have you all right here,
Yes, we're blessed to be here. It's a privilege for sure.
I mean, talk about quality healthcare. I've just my hat goes off to you and that, all the nurses and everyone, all the staff, and
We're pretty
Yeah.
proud. We're proud of the care that we're able to offer to our region. We really are.
Pat brought up a good point earlier, which I'm sure the partnership took into consideration, but she talked about how people found out that other counties were getting a larger supply of vaccine and booked their appointments out of the county. Was that something you guys talked about or considered prior to deployment?
I have heard some of those same concerns as well. I can't blame those people for doing that. There has been no guidance as far as, or any restrictions that we've been told by the state that you can't go outside of your county. I mean, ideally, you would wait your turn within your resident county, but there has been nothing in stone that you cannot go elsewhere. But I'm with you. I feel like you live here, this is where, and certain allocation is being sent to our county based on our residents, and same goes with Carteret County and all the other counties. So ideally everyone would wait until their turn within their county, but it's not any steadfast rule that's been placed.
Well, I thought I would give you a chance to talk about your lovely little family.
Oh, thanks.
You're surrounded by boys.
Oh my goodness. Yes. I do have one girl dog, 2 boy dogs and 1 girl dog, but she acts like a boy dog. So I'm just destined to be surrounded by boys. They're a handful, but you got to love them.
And you took on a new puppy, right? Not long ago.
Oh, I don't know if I'd call him a puppy so much as like a T-Rex, maybe. He's a maniac, truly. But I'm looking forward to the day where we've always had little dogs. We have little dachshunds. We've always had 3. And then we had one that passed away, and I've always wanted a big dog, but I've never had a big dog. So we had this opportunity. A family member had puppies, and he's a lab mix. And so we got him, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, man's best friend. He's going to be the little sidekick to my kids. And my kids literally will not go near him, because he was this tiny little puppy, and he's 6 months now, and he's about as big as me, and he jumps, and I mean, he chews on everything, and my kids just get to higher ground whenever he comes around. They climb up on the table, the couch, wherever. And I'm like, okay, well, that was an epic fail, but hopefully one day he will grow out of that crazy puppy phase and they'll be good friends.
Yeah, exercise. You know, I do have to give a shout out to my dear friend Dan Spangler. Finn is at day play right now, and I've been kind of feeling under the weather, and there's no way I'm going to be walking him. He needs, get that exercise out of him, the energy.
Yes.
And at the end of 4 hours, he is out,
wiped out.
And
Yeah.
And it really helps, and it helps a small business too. So
yes,
I highly recommend.
When we're able, and he fetches. That's his one redeeming quality. So we'll throw the little fake duck in the creek, and he'll fetch it back and forth. And my kids do like to watch that. So you're right. When he gets that energy out, he's much more chill. But
well, maybe you can use them when you lose your keys. You can, tell them to fetch and find your keys for you.
Yeah.
Resourceful.
Or bring him to play with Finn and let them both wear each other out.
Yeah, there you go. You know what also helped when Finn was a puppy? I took little tiny, the size of his dog food, and I would hide it around the kitchen and living room area, and I'd put him in the crate, and I'd go hide it, and then I'd open it up and say find it, and he'd find anything. And his mind was thinking, so that tired him out. So just little tricks like that can help with those puppies with lots of energy. Yeah.
Oh, they're full of energy.
Yeah. We wish we had some of that.
say that every
Kathy or
day.
Pat or Wendy, anybody have any additional questions for Brandy? Or Brandy, is there anything else that we should know?
I don't think so. I mean, just again, just everyone being patient and understanding of everybody's truly is doing the best that they can. And just continue supporting us in wearing your masks, the social distancing, doing all of those things. You know, even after getting the vaccine, the CDC is still recommending wearing the masks and, of course, the hand hygiene and social distancing and all of that until there's more time that passes to where we really know how things are going to go with everybody being vaccinated. So just to continue to do those things, that'll help us keep patients out of the hospital. You know, we reached another high water mark last week we had 68 COVID inpatients. That's the most we've had since the beginning. We've gone down some, we're in the 50s this week, but that's still, you know, quite a bit of patients on top of all of our other 200 something non-COVID patients. So just supporting us and helping to keep yourself and other people safe and out of the hospital when possible.
There you go. Well, Brandy, we can't thank you enough for stopping and just taking a little bit of time to let us know how you guys are doing. And
my pleasure.
We're praying for all y'all and wishing you the best. So.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Woohoo!
See you later, Brandy. Thank you.
Take care. Yay.
I don't know how she looks great in the midst of a lot of stress over
She
so
does.
many months, you know, sneaking up on a year before long. But
yeah, I can't believe it. You know,
they're doing a great job, and they're doing it with so many questions involved because, you know, yes, they think they're going to get a shipment weekly, but they don't know how much and when, and they don't know because the state doesn't know when they're getting it from the manufacturer, and it's just all tied together. Yet here they are out there plugging away day after day, you know, trying to do the best for all of us.
right. I agree.
It's a wonderful collaboration between Carolina's physicians, the health department, and CCHC. A lot of extra work for physicians and their staff to determine who at 75 plus has the underlying conditions that they need the injections first, and then going down the next age bracket and the next age bracket to look at their records and the physicians knowing their patients. It's a lot of work to make those determinations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're looking at a database of, you know, if it's a large practice that, you know, such as CCHC, you're looking at hundreds, you know, maybe thousands of people, and you know, which demographic they fall into, which age bracket, so you know how to say how many doses you'll ultimately need, and get them scheduled. So
and then set up a method, how are they going to give it out? So all of it be developed and put together. And
I mean, just the testing, you know, the plus testing and all that other stuff, the logistic nightmare. Wow.
The health department is giving it at the convention center, I believe. Is that right, Colleen?
yes, yep, they will start giving the vaccine at the convention center downtown. Yep.
I saw in New York City, they're using Yankee Stadium and the Mets baseball stadium to distribute the vaccines.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great idea, you know, it really is.
So we're about halfway through. Do you want to go over your trivia question again there, Wendy?
Yes, it is. What local business used to store their products in cigar boxes in the mid 1900s? And it's a very well-known business, by the way. That's a little hint.
Mid 1900s is 1950, right?
I would say that. I got the question directly from them. So,
okay.
Yeah, I cheated.
Okay. So you had help this time.
I did. Oh, yeah. I had a lot of help. Yeah.
Okay.
And Kathy, you gave me a list last time back before Christmas, and we had Christmas questions, and it was the clatter. That caused a lot of clatter.
Yeah, where
the controversial
when did there arise
clatter.
such a clatter? Yeah.
because the truth was, the question was, gosh, what was it?
Where did there arise such a clatter?
Yes, and the thing is, the poem, "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," was changed. Like it was published in like 1930 something, and then like 10 years later, they changed the verbiage to where the clatter was somewhere else. So it totally like it was
Really?
misinformation. Yeah, it was.
So, and
it
I
was
would have thought out on the lawn there arose such a clatter.
It was
Oh,
out on the
yeah.
lawn, but one of the versions that was published later in later years was on the roof, and
Oh.
everyone guessed on the roof. So we were putting out misinformation without even knowing it. I mean, I was sure it was on the roof. Pat, Colleen,
I was
think.
too.
Out on the
Yeah.
lawn there arose such a clatter. I
Yeah.
sprang from my bed to see what was the matter.
Yeah, that's it. But it
It's the
changed.
chimney from the lawn.
So that's a subject that is very near and dear to some people's hearts. Is what is truth and what is not, and it's been very blurry lately. And I guess the only thing I want to say about that, not to cause any division, but we have to be please, let's be patient with each other. And some people are really going through a lot with this crisis, from losing their jobs and losing their loved ones or getting sick, or there's just so much going on in the last year that maybe their minds, they're just not thinking clearly, and they're absorbing information that they really believe may be accurate. So let's just be kind to each other and love thy neighbor. So I'll stop being sappy. And Colleen, did you say what you've been up to? How's the city doing?
Oh, city's doing great. We have two pieces of good news to share. The first is Parks and Rec is always blazing a trail. And right now they're blazing more trails at Martin Marietta Park. So if you see lots of work going on out there, that's one of the projects they have that's in the go. And when they complete this next segment of trails out there, cleaning stuff up and making it more walkable so you're not attacked by vines and all those kinds of things, there will be 7 miles of trails out at the park. Isn't that cool?
That's awesome.
So just in time for everybody's resolution to, exercise more and get fit and all that stuff, you can now go out to Martin Marietta Park and, cycle those trails or walk them or run them or, take the stroller, whatever the case may be. So that is certainly good news. And then the playground equipment for a playground that will go out there arrives, and they will begin installation February 5th. So that'll be really cool too. You can take the kids out there and play on the playground. So Martin Marietta, a piece at a time, certainly coming together, and a picturesque place to spend some time, take some deep breaths, and enjoy yourself.
So are the pathways asphalt?
Not
crushed?
No, they're not. There were so many out there that were natural paths. When we had the groundbreaking, so to speak, and invited all the media and everything, you could jump in the car, which I did, and offered the media to ride with me, and you could go down some of the very wide, again, natural trails. They're grassy, but we drove them around the park and some of the ones that are already established. Now, where they're having to cut back and create trails and expand those trails, I believe they're bringing in some gravel to be able to establish those. But mostly they're just natural trails that are out there. It's really nice. The last 2 times that I've been out there, a group of cyclists has come out to do a couple of loops around the 3-mile trail that's out there. And so I was just walking along, and you hear them, before you see them riding over the grass and leaves and stuff. But this group of cyclists came on through, and you're like, hey, how you doing? It's a very
Very
beautiful
cool.
walk or bike ride or, whatever you might want to do out there. So it was just neat. I was like, something's coming up behind me and I don't quite know what it is. And it was all these cyclists came through. So it's really neat. People are using it and they should. So there will also be a project in the future for this year on building some of the docks that are going to be out there. And so Parks and Rec was Foster Hughes and Matt Montaigne, our Public Works Director. They were talking the other day about how rampant the cattails are out there. And they're pretty to look at, but they will spread like wildfire if you're not careful. So they were talking about how that might impact trying to put in some of these park amenities, particularly the docks and stuff. They were like, oh my gosh, the cattails are everywhere. So
But those brand new park is an exciting thing. And they're I'd say there are not many cities that get to have this experience and develop the whole thing from scratch.
It is nearly a 1,000-acre park. Of course, most of it is water. But who, can complain about that? You can fish. Some of the docks and piers and things that they're building will be great for fishermen who want to go out there and try to reel something in. So it'll be a great place for all different kinds of recreational activities. So we're certainly looking forward to that.
Yeah, and the kayakers and stand-up paddleboarders, there's already a place where you can just dip them in the water, and there's a lot of them out there every time I go out there. So
the last time we had drone practice, we were over at the Sandy area where you can put in your kayak or paddleboard or whatever. And I mean, I was just out there with my phone. I was like, drone what? Like, it was first thing in the morning. So, the sun was still a little low and it was just gorgeous. It's really pretty.
Are they going to have picnic areas out there?
Yes, ma'am. There is a shelter that I think might be done. I'll have to check in with Foster on that. But when you drive in on the right was where a picnic shelter was going in the fall last year. And like I said, I think it's complete. That one will also have restrooms. So, but yes, picnic shelters, they will have picnic tables and everything you can imagine. So it'll be great.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on at the city. We had a successful but rather rainy bear drop.
Poor bear got wet.
Yes. On New Year's Eve. And speaking of Foster, he set up this wonderful Parks and Rec tent outside of City Hall since it was raining so badly for the Board of Aldermen, for coming and making their comments and wishing everybody a Happy New Year. Also for Brian North and Megan Scarano, who were here from News Channel 12. And also for the two folks, Carrie and myself, who were going to be out there publishing it to Facebook Live. Well, it was a wonderful tent. It was large, it was logoed, it was beautiful, but it, like many tents, had a couple of leaks. Sprung a couple of leaks. So you really had to be strategic even where you stood underneath the tent on New Year's Eve because the rain was making its way in. But we had a successful bear drop. I would say there were probably about 125, 150 people who came out to watch it in front of City Hall. And it was just so cute because the kids were jumping in all the puddles, waiting for the bear to come down. And it was just cute. Like, I mean, who can't remember jumping in a puddle when you were little? And we had music playing and stuff, so it was really fun. But not long before the bear came down, Mother Nature decided to really come down. So it was interesting, but it was a success. We did it at 6 p.m. this year as a nod to our sister city, Bern, Switzerland. It was already midnight when it was 6 p.m. here when we did our bear drop, and we actually were able to receive video season's greetings from Michael von Graffenried, who is a descendant of Baron Christopher de Graffenried, who founded New Bern. And I don't know if you saw the video he sent, but he is in Emmental, Switzerland, not far outside of Bern, and it's just snow, he's panning across with his phone, and it's snow and snow-covered trees and hills and little warm lights of the houses below. And oh my gosh, it looked like a wintry postcard that he sent
Very
us.
cool. Very
Yeah.
cool.
So nice to hear from the de Graffenrieds, or Von Graffenrieds, as they say. But nice to have those greetings to kick off a brand new year.
How fun. Now all we need is snow.
That's a bad
Only
word for some
enough.
folks.
Yeah, only enough to land on the lawn, not enough to land in the streets.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, just come and dump a little bit on the lawn, not the driveway, but just a dusting.
Yeah.
We
I
don't
like-
want much, just perfect.
Yeah,
I like the kind of snow that's here today, but gone tomorrow.
there you
Not a
go.
lot of trouble. So that works for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, and we're supposed to have Antoinette Bosky
Bosky
Chadwick
Chadwick.
with the New Burns People Assembly, but for some reason we were not able to connect. So hopefully she'll be joining us next week. And
Okay.
Okay.
hey, have you done cooking with what is it, zoodles? It's vegetable that you is it julienne? When you make noodles, like spaghetti noodles, but
Okay.
not spaghetti noodles, but you make them with vegetables like zucchini or squash or what
I
else
have
did
not. Are
use?
you going to bring us some and do a cooking
Oh my
demonstration?
gosh, they're amazing. I gotta, what the heck is that
Did you
called?
get a spiral cutter for Christmas?
Yes, spiraler. Actually, it was attached to the mandolin.
Oh,
What it
be
is.
careful with the mandolin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Really
didn't-
careful.
Finger.
I have not cut myself, but I've been using that mandolin, and I've been trying pretty much every vegetable possible. And because I can't, I'm on that totally new
Heart healthy
Like-
diet.
heart healthy diet, and it really helps to be creative, because if I just like if I didn't have a mindset, if I just decided, oh well, I'm not going to do it because I just can't do it, you know what I mean? Instead, if you believe you can do it and you want to try new things every day, you just make stuff up. It's just kind of like art. I've never thought of cooking as like art, but it's a
Oh,
whole
yeah.
a whole different experience, and I'm really enjoying the vegetables and fruits. I mean, it's amazing what you can do with with a mandolin and a cast
And a
iron
spiraler.
skillet and a spiraler. Yeah. So, and I'm getting inspiration from Colleen with your taste bud adventure. Because
Well,
I
you're-
did scallops the other day. So yeah.
Aw, you are sweet. So the vegetable that you spiral, do you usually heat or cook it in some way, or you just have it raw?
I've
like,
had
and
it
then-
both, but mostly I put it in the cast iron skillet with like onions and garlic or whatever, and sometimes you can steam it, but I originally did it with just a little bit of olive oil. So it was pretty cool. And another thing I discovered, I should have brought a visual sample, but they have wood pieces that you can buy that are maple wood. I think is it black maple? No, black cherry, and apple wood or cedar planks. Well, I've been using that to cook chicken, which I thought it was just fish like salmon. So you put a chicken breast on a cherry plank or a apple wood plank for 20 minutes, and it has its own flavor. You don't have to add anything, any flavor, nothing. You just brush oil on it, and that's it. 20 minutes.
Wow.
So on 400 degrees, it's the best chicken like ever. So
See,
Who would've
isn't
thought?
cooking is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soak the plank before you put it in?
What's that?
Do you soak the plank before you put it in?
Yes. Yeah. You gotta soak the plank. Forgot to mention that.
We don't want to cause any fires.
Yeah. No fires, but it's
Pat,
outside. So
Pat, what were you saying about her cooking adventure?
Just having fun, and that makes it that much easier to do, and you want to keep doing it, and then that just encourages you to continue to eat your heart healthy food and try new things.
yeah, and it becomes a habit that way. You know, it's not like, oh gosh, I gotta. Although I do the exercise every morning with this. It's called a desk cycle. Anyway, I do it because I'm like, okay, I have to do it. But now I follow these different podcasts, so I'm learning. And then next thing I know, it's been 45 minutes and I'm like, oh, I'm done. Wow, that was easy. You know, so it's not as hard. Like I never thought I'd be able to quit smoking, but when the doctor said, if you don't quit smoking, you're gonna have a major stroke and you may die. And then not that I'm afraid of dying, but I don't want to die, you know.
You're too
So
young.
I'm 53 years old, you know, so I'm like, okay, that's not gonna happen. So I didn't even think about it. So I just started cutting up carrots and radishes to pretend they're whenever I get a craving, or I get on that little desk cycle thing. So you know you do that, and then you just go from there, and it's a new year, and the possibilities are endless. I know things are looking a little rough, you know, if people watch the news, but you know, if you tune out, turn on some great fun music, and don't forget to dance, even if you're just alone, you know, it just
And what
is
about
joyful.
and
So,
what about art? You have some new pieces behind you, right?
yeah, I have this one is by Lee Hood. This is one of my favorite paintings, and actually it's a print, but
Yes.
see, I love this. I've been meaning to actually. Laura had him on hold the other day, I think. I wanted to know what he was thinking when he created this, because there's different you know art is different meanings to everyone, and so I think I'm going to put a question out on social media on as far as what you think of when you look at this painting or print, or different prints, just to add, get a conversation going. And this one is by my sister, and from Allegheny State Park in the southern tier of New York. It's my happy place. I haven't been in years, but every time I go, it's the same. So just like
would be
when I was a kid.
It would be interesting to know the story he wanted to tell with his painting.
Yes, yes. Because what do you think of when you see this painting? I'm not sure if you can see the.
Well, there's so much going on in that photo, or in that print. I'm sorry. And I feel like, the beautiful thing about art is, we look at it, and in this case, you look at faces and expressions and things, and you start maybe telling your own stories in your head,
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. It's.
I was thinking there are better days ahead with the blue that they're headed towards, the blue sky. So they're looking backwards, the children, to where they have been, and the adults, I think, are looking forward to better days ahead. Is kind of what I would see in it.
That's what I was looking at, not necessarily like adventure or anything, but possibly freedom, or I don't know. And Laura said surprise. Maybe they were able to. I'm assuming they were fleeing from somewhere, but then again, I don't know. I'd like to get Lee's take on it, because Lee Hood he's one of my favorite artists. a lot. I have a lot of favorite artists. Lisa Bisbee Lentz is another, and yeah.
Wendy,
Anyway.
talking about food, I've had forgotten all about frozen grapes. I'm a nibbler and a snacker, especially watching TV. And I've been going towards things I shouldn't be eating, like sweets especially. And I forgot all about freezing grapes. It makes them sweeter. They're good for you. And you can freeze raspberries too, the same way.
Oh, I didn't realize that about grapes. I have raspberries with.
You just wash them and you kind of lay them out in the freezer so they're frozen, and then you can put them in a baggie. Once they are frozen, you can put them in a plastic container or a baggie or whatever, but you need to kind of lay them out first. The same way you would do, I guess, if you were keeping blueberries.
Yes, yeah.
Blueberries, you kind of have to lay them out first.
Oh,
But
that's a great idea.
freezing them adds to their sweetness. So
Yeah.
I'm doing that, and I'm gonna try freezing the raspberries this week. I just bought some today. I read
Raspberries.
as well.
You know, come the springtime, y'all, we need to take a trip. There's a raspberry patch and a blackberry patch in the Croatan. I know exactly where it's at.
Ah,
So, yeah, we'll do a on-site little podcast from there.
Are they guaranteed thornless?
No, there's thorns.
Oh,
Yeah, but it's worth it. It's worth it because you never see you may sneak up on a little bear with its babies, or yeah, you never know what you're gonna see when you go on the Croatan, but it's always an adventure. And yeah, so what else? And have y'all been by the Habitat Restore lately?
I was just going to mention that because their in-store silent auctions are so fun to me. They actually have one to kick off 2021. The Habitat for Humanity Restore is located at 930 Pollock Street. This particular auction closes January 28th, so you only have a couple more weeks to put your bids in. There are items this month with starting bids ranging as low as $25 for a fused glass plate, up to $300 for a framed oil painting that depicts a Paris street scene. Also this month are 2 bronze sculptures, a Japanese 3-panel screen, a baker's rack for the kitchen, and some Coca-Cola collectibles. Now, if you want to bid on the silent auction items, you do have to register. There's no charge, but that's how they get you your bid number and keep everything straight for folks who want to take some of these items home. Bidders can revisit the silent auction anytime during the month that the auction is active to monitor or adjust your bid. When the in-store silent auction is closed every month, the winning bidder is notified and has 2 days to pay for their item and 5 days to pick it up. And you do pick it up at the restore. Let's see, store hours for checking out this month's auction and to place your bids are Tuesdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., Wednesdays through Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So, and I love how they send out these emails and they drop these little nuggets of what is in the silent auction. And so you click on the JPEGs and it's the cutest stuff, but then they describe some of the other stuff without taking photos of it. And so they have done such a great job at building intrigue and interest in these silent auction items. So I applaud Habitat for Humanity for doing it. It's just been some really neat stuff.
Did you know the Next Chapter Books and Art have celebrated the release of their issue 2 of their Next Chapter literary magazine? It's edited by Michelle Guerin-Fly, who's a local author and owner of the Next Chapter Books and Art, and features stories and essays and poems and art and photography from Eastern North Carolina authors and artists. So it's a good collection. And if you'd like to have a piece in the next issue for information about when and what to submit to the magazine, head over to their website, thenextchapternc.com, and find the literary magazine link. and they'll take care of you. But that's exciting to have issue 2. That means that's an ongoing rolling piece.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she's so talented. I love her work.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the Tryon Palace has high-speed Wi-Fi now in the Eden Street parking lot, which is great news. This is part of the state's North Carolina Student Connect Park and Learn program. So folks, neighbors and local students can connect to the internet just by going to the Eden Street parking lot. To connect to the Wi-Fi there, located on the west side of Tryon Palace, you have to use and look for in your Wi-Fi networks, the one called NC Guest Wi-Fi, and then follow the prompts. And then for more information about the North Carolina Student Connect program and to find a map of some of those Wi-Fi locations, this is particularly important for students trying to complete assignments, or maybe you're going out for a field trip and need to report back using the Wi-Fi, some of the things that you found or learned. You can go to hometownstrong.nc.gov and you'll find different information there for the Wi-Fi spots across the state.
Yeah.
Today is the ABC's mini sale that they're doing from 10 to 2, the attic basement closet sale out at
Whoops, whoops.
Battlefield Park.
What are we reading? I'm
Oh,
not.
Was that canceled?
That was canceled. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Because it's in the New Bern magazine. I didn't realize it was canceled.
Okay. No, that was canceled as we regroup and refigure.
Okay, because I heard you read off the other things and I was kind of waiting.
Okay.
And then I was like, well, maybe. And I had made note of it because we had thought about going.
Oh.
You know, the little New Bern booklet
Yeah.
you get, different events and advertisements that you can pick up, you know.
We did send out a cancellation on that, but with long time, long lead times, sometimes the cancellation doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I apologize, but yes, the mini ABC is no longer on tap.
Oh, okay.
May-
Thank you for sharing. I'm glad you brought it
hopefully
up.
next year.
And we would have
Yeah.
stopped at donuts.
Yeah, I'm
You
glad
can
you
still go
did
get a
bring it
donut.
up. I'm glad you did bring it up. That way, if people were planning on going, hey,
Yeah.
they didn't get frustrated with the New Bern Historical Society.
Now, I apologize that is out there and didn't get updated.
It's okay.
Wendy, do you want to, I don't think we have any answers to your trivia question.
Okay, yeah, no, I see Talina. Hi, Talina. She says, hi, guys. We probably said that earlier, sorry.
That's
Okay, yes, the trivia question. What New Bern business used to store their products in cigar boxes in the mid 1900s? I guess, Talina, you're the only one that can guess unless there's somebody else watching that I don't see.
That's right.
Anyone? Okay, while we give them a chance to guess, let's just go to the joke real quick. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, why don't ants ever get sick?
AUNTS or ANTS?
ANTS.
If they never leave home, I don't know.
Because they have little antibodies.
Oh.
Laura said it funnier,
Oh.
sorry. Boo. Sorry. Okay. All right. The question. Any answers, you guys, a Pod Squad?
Who made cigars in the 1950s?
No, it's what businesses stored their products in the cigar boxes in the mid 1960s or 1900s, 1950s, 60s, I guess.
I would say Mitchell Hardware.
Is it unanimous?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Smith
like that.
Hardware. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Hey, Colleen.
Great job, Colleen.
Right.
Yay.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, so.
Well, put the gift card back in there for next week or our next prize drawing.
Okay, well, we'll do that, and maybe I'll drop something off special for you. As long as I
Wait
don't.
until you get over the sniffles. Make sure you don't
Yeah.
have COVID. Get yourself
Yeah.
healthy.
Spiral zucchinis.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's so much I've made. Oh, what? Real quick, the applesauce. Like, I haven't made homemade applesauce since my mom did it when I was a kid. You know, that I add that to like food, like regular food, and oh my gosh, it you don't need to add sugar or anything. It's just incredible. It's just apples that are, cooked. So who knew? Anyway, I'm rambling.
Chef
Ready to
Wendy.
wrap it up. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, let us know if you'd like to be a guest or if you have any questions or suggestions for the New Bern Now Pod Squad. You can call Wendy at 252-259-6853, or you can send an email to info@newbernnow.com. Make sure you join us on January 21st from 1 to 2 p.m. We're going to take to Zoom live again on the New Bern Now Facebook page. The video and audio will be uploaded to newbernnow.com, YouTube, iTunes, and anywhere that you listen to your podcasts. Of course, you can also listen to the show on New Bern's News Talk radio station, WNOS 103.9 FM, every Wednesday at 8 o'clock in the morning and 5 p.m. at night. We certainly thank them for giving us the exposure on the airwaves to let people listen in on what's going on in New Bern and beyond. And just a great big thank you for listening, everybody, and have a great day. Wendy's gonna cue the music.
Woohoo! Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Uh-oh.
It's there somewhere.
Yay,
Bye, guys.
everybody.
See you later.
All right. Hope you feel better, Wendy.
Thank you. Have a great day. Here's the end.